Welcome to the off season. This is a time of year when drivers just don't know what to do with all their free time. That's what we're going to talk about today. Hi drivers, this is Enzo. Welcome to episode 24, season 2, we're racking them up now, of the Race Driver Coach Show. Had a question come in, which is pretty normal this time of year, right? When we get to the end of the season, we've done our testing, or pretty much, but we know we're going to have a big spell of doing nothing on the racetrack, that is. Because the weather's not good, the team need to rebuild the car, Christmas and New Year get in the way. Loads of reasons why we can't touch the track. But I see a lot of drivers in limbo at this time, not sure what to do. This question inspired this video, by the way. Hi Enzo, I've got 3 or 4 months off now until I touch the car again. Can you give me some advice of what to do with that time? Now, this is a question, thanks Carl, that most people would say is pretty obvious, and I think you would as well, Carl, and everybody out there. If I said to you, right, I've got a big championship coming up next year, I need to get ready for it, I've got 4 months to get ready for it, there's lots to do, what's the problem? The problem is, you don't think that you can do much. You think things are out of your control. You know full well, every single driver knows that they've got to be fit, they've got to have the money, and they've got to be fast. Fit, fast money. Fit, fast finance. I think we've just come up with something new. You've got 3 major areas there in all that you've got to excel in order to race next year and beyond. Now, if you're thinking that in all these 3-4 months that this is relaxed time, I just don't know what to do, maybe I should do some simulator work, go and learn some tracks and things, brilliant. But actually, this is the time that you pound it. This is the time that you can see it like a training camp. You see boxers, they spend 2 months, 6 to 8 weeks getting ready for a big fight. You've got to get ready for a big season. Your fight isn't just one night, isn't just 12 rounds. Well, it is 12 rounds, but it's spread over probably 6 months. That's a hell of a thing to get ready for. You haven't got time to start emailing me for questions. You haven't got time to do anything really. I mean, think about it. You know, especially if you're stepping up to a different car, a harder car to drive physically, you've got to get fit. You've got to make sure that you're the fittest driver on the grid. Not just fit enough to get into that car and drive and compete in it, but to be the fittest. If you want to win, you've got to beat drivers in every single area, or at least that's your goal. That's the mentality to have. And you've only got 3 or 4 months to do it, to rise up, to make yourself better for this bigger car, or to be better than anyone else on the grid. Man, you haven't got much time. Let's say you're going to do 2 hours a day, 5 days a week. Give yourself 2 days off if you really want it, but you're going to do 2 hours a day or an hour purely on fitness. That's a bit of your work day gone already. And then you start to think of sponsorship. I've got to now talk to all my old sponsors, maybe ones that sponsored me 5 years ago, and start to talk to them again. I've got to attract new ones. I've got to start doing B2B deals within my racing that help me pay for the racing and make connections. That's probably another 3 hours a day that you've got to do that. So if you're doing proper fitness and you're doing sponsorship, that's 5 hours a day gone. And you're still only scratching the surface. What about your skill level? There's certain parts, we've done this before, right? On the downloads, on another video I talked about it. Take a look now back at the season. Score yourself in all the main areas and show yourself where your weaknesses are. Show yourself where your strengths are. But get very clear on the 2 or 3 things that you must improve on for next season. And you're also working on that. So if it's a bit like, oh, I'm not very good in qualifying, I've got to be better at performing under pressure, then you spend an hour a day working on that. You spend time on your mind. Now we're talking 6-7 hours of the day have gone. That's a full working day. And if you're going to school and you've got a job, man, you're busy. Really treat this like a training camp. Don't relax. Don't think, oh, I've had a hard season, I need time off. Yeah, probably for a week, but then get back on it. It takes about 3 months to revolutionize the body, to completely transform it, if you've got a good program in place. You're going to need all that time. If you want to be the best, you're going to need that time. And I'll tell you what, go and get a trainer. Most motorsport specific trainers will do a full day of assessment to show you where you're really at. And they've worked with other drivers, so they've got all this database of showing how good you are, your level. They'll probably charge you about £300, $400 for that, and give you a program. If you said to them, right, I need a full day assessment, and I need a program that's going to take me over the next 4 months, really hitting it hard, and this is the type of body I want to get to, or this is the kind of car I'm driving, I want to be the fittest on the grid. Can you give me a program for that? Honestly, £300, €400, $400, you'll have that done. You'll have a motorsport specific training program, and you'll know exactly where you're at now, so you can then do it again in 4 months' time just to see if you've improved or how much you've improved. I want you to really treat this off season like it's your time to jump up, to become the champion. You're not really going to do it in the season, because in the season you're trying to juggle everything. You barely maintain your fitness, you barely maintain your sponsorship. You try, but you're so busy doing other stuff, it's hard to really make a gain, to really strive and push forwards. But this 3 month gap you've got, or 4 months gap, that is your time. Your season depends on them 4 months. That's the foundation. The faster or higher you grow in this period is going to basically play out in the season. You're going to see it play out and say, that's because of what I did earlier on. I made myself mentally stronger. I made myself physically stronger. And now I've got business connections because I've been phoning companies, like 30 companies a day. Business to business and sponsorship, hospitality, talking to teams of how I can use their team as a pull for sponsors. Corporate entertainment, track days, all these things you've got to organise. Now I'm really frustrated because most drivers think this is great, I can do all this, but then they don't bloody do it. If you're serious about being a race driver, then you've got to treat it like a full-time job. And if you've got a full-time job and you've got kids and you've got school, education, all this stuff, and you've only got like 3 hours of the day left, but you're sleeping 8, sleep 6, work 5. You can hustle on the night from 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock onwards until the early hours of the morning. If, this is a big if racing actually means that much to you. Because we know it's so great to be a driver. It's brilliant to be in the car. It's just exhilarating. This wheel to wheel, it gets your juices going. But actually, in order to do that, you've got to get your juices going in the work part of it. The off season. You have your goal there, right in front of you. Every single day you wake up, you see that car that you want to drive. It empowers you. It drives you. It reminds you why you're doing this. And you fill your head full of it. And I tell you what, you going down the gym, you'll be so driven, literally, that you won't need to motivate yourself. If this is really what you want. Drivers out there, listen to me now. This is going to take massive work. If you're not working your tail off in the off season, then what are you doing? You're just playing. It's going to come to the start of the season. You're going to be unprepared if you're racing at all because you didn't get the sponsorship in the first place. And you're going to miss another year. Everything is on these 4 months. Everything. This is your training camp. Like a boxer, again, this is where you do your sparring. If it's MMA, this is where you bring in a wrestler to teach you the wrestling. Jiu-jitsu, the boxing side of it. You get everyone in because this is important. It's just that your fight lasts for 6 or 7 months. So it's a little bit different, but still you have to train in all the areas and you have to improve. You have to grow. You have to be damn right busy. You got it? So I don't want anyone else asking me what should I do, because you've got loads to do and I want you to just get on with it.